The Dai Nippon Butokukai was the most prestigious organization in the Japanese martial arts world, bringing together various martial arts schools across disciplines such as Kenjutsu swordsmanship, Jujutsu unarmed combat, Kyujutsu archery, and more. Within the Butokukai, there were specific titles established for each discipline: Renshi practitioner, Kyoshi teacher, and Hanshi master. Hanshi is the highest rank, signifying one who has completely mastered the martial art. Regarding the masters of Kenjutsu and Jujutsu, they have already been introduced in a previous video. So, if you're interested, please take a look there. This time, we will introduce masters of other traditional Japanese martial arts: Iaido, Kyudo, Naginata, bow, swimming, and sōjutsu, along with any anecdotes about them. The Dai Nippon Butokukai also encompass martial arts such as Tessen, kusarigama, artillery, bayonet combat, and karate. However, due to the small number of practitioners or political reasons, none of these disciplines produced masters with the title of Hanshi. Heita Inoue trained in Unko-ru Kenjutsu, Hoki-ru Yajutsu, Hekiru Desetsu ha Kyujutsu, Atsubo-ru Bajutsu, Takeda-ru Kisha, and Kanso-ru Hojutsu. Inoue served in the police force for 30 years and rose to the rank of police inspector. He was well regarded by citizens as a police officer who never made arrests, releasing all offenders with only a warning. In May 1921 Taisho 10, at the age of 73, he participated in the senior division of Kendo at the Butokusai Grand Martial Arts demonstration. He faced Sakabe Koro, a 63-year-old practitioner of Shinto Munin-ryu. During the match, Inoue shocked those around him by competing without wearing protective armor, fighting barefaced and with bare hands. The 17th headmaster, or soke, of Muso Jikiden Aishin Ryujutsu, a Hanshi in Yajutsu, and a Kiyoshi in Kendo, under the Dai Nippon Butokukai. As the 17th soke of Muso Jikiden Aishin Ryu, who unified the various names used for the style in the Tosa domain, such as Hasegawa-ryu, Aishin-ryu, Hasegawa Aishin-ryu, Muso Jikiden-ryu, and Muso Shinden-ryu, standardizing them under the name Muso Jikiden Aishin-ryu. Additionally, he worked to unify the forms, known as kata, of the techniques. During the Edo period, Aishin-ryu was a secret style, Otome-ryu, that was not taught outside the domain. However, in the Meiji era, Ooe widely disseminated it across the country. This effort laid the foundation for the modern Iaido practices of Aishin-ryu. To summarize, due to a certain incident, following a decision by the Osaka court, a samurai from the Tosa domain committed seppuku in front of Myokokuji Temple in Sakai, Setsu Province. Umasaji attended this event and performed the ritual of keishaku, the act of decapitating the person committing seppuku. In an effort to unify Iaido techniques, Ooe worked to simplify the forms so that even beginners could easily learn them. As a result, the previously existing alternative techniques and secret forms, no kata, were no longer taught, and there was a reorganization and renaming of the techniques. Ooe Masaji's actions can be seen as both beneficial and detrimental for those who seek to study traditional martial arts in the modern era. However, during his time, from the late Edo period to the Meiji era, the martial arts world faced a crisis where the survival of many schools was at risk. Aishin-ryu was no exception, and in this context, the renaming and restructuring of techniques were seen as a necessary step. It is said that Ooe's efforts, like those in Kendo, Kenjutsu and Judo, Jujutsu, aim to modernize and make Aishin-ryu accessible to a broader audience, ensuring its continuation and enabling more people to learn the style. These changes were his way of ensuring the survival of Aishin-ryu in the new era. Nakayama was the first individual awarded the title of Hanshi in all three disciplines Kendo, Judo, and Jujutsu by the Dai Nippon Butokukai. In 1912, he was chosen as one of 25 members on the committee to establish the Kendo kata of the Great Japanese Empire, working alongside his mentor Negishi Shingeru. During the early Showa period, Nakayama was a leading authority in the Kendo world, alongside Takano Sasaburo of Nakanishi Hado-ru. He demonstrated Kendo at multiple Showa Tenrin-shiai events. After World War II, Nakayama was briefly detained as a suspected war criminal. Though later holding honorary positions in Kendo organizations, he declined the first Kendo 10th Dan title offered by the All Japan Kendo Federation in 1957, opposing the rank system. Considered a key figure in shaping modern Kendo, Nakayama was critical of its sport-oriented evolution, observing the All Japan Kendo Championship late in life. He remarked, "From my perspective, the competitors' shinai techniques are skillful, but ultimately, they are just shinai techniques. Frankly, I cannot give a passing grade to anyone. It should be renamed the Shinai Championship. Such exchanges would be unthinkable with real Japanese swords. I sincerely hope Kendo does not degenerate into a mere game of shinai dancing." Hironori Nakayama had friendships with prominent figures in the martial arts world, indicating that he was a central figure in the Japanese martial arts community of the time. A disciple of Hosokawa Yoshimasa during the same period as Hironori Nakayama and the 17th headmaster of Muso Shinden Bado Jutsu Haiho. Politician and president of the Dai Nippon Butokukai. The 26th Yokozuna of sumo wrestling, who joined the Yoshinkan dojo after retiring. The 14th headmaster of Suyoru, who named Nakayama's dojo Heikyunkan. Hanshi 9th Dan in Edo and Hanshi 8th Dan in Kendo. Practitioner of the Choshu domains Shinto Munin-ru and Muso Shinden Chikushin-ru Bado Jutsu. A native of Toyama Prefecture and from the same hometown as Nakayama, the grandfather of Kuroda Tetsuzan, who was acclaimed as a master in modern martial arts both domestically and internationally. Founder of Shinto Jinin-ru Karate. Politician, holder of a 10th Dan in Judo, and a native of Toyama Prefecture from the same hometown as Nakayama. Former Magashira of sumo wrestling, post-war, attained Hanshi 9th Dan in Edo. Practitioner of the Omura domains Shinto Munin-ru. Known as the Musashi of the Showa era, Hanshi 9th Dan in Kendo and Edo. Kendo instructor at the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department, Hanshi 9th Dan in Kendo and Edo. Kabuki actor, who frequently visited Nakayama to study Edo. Nakayama Hironori's biological son. Founder of Kodansha, opened the Noma Dojo and warmly welcomed Nakayama. The second president of Kodansha and winner of the Showa Tenrin-shiai. Founder of the Iken Kaihaga Dojo and a pioneer of the Japan Kendo Association. Secretary General of the Yoshinkan. Founder of the Yoseikan Budo. Runner-up in the U.S. National Fencing Championships. Winner of the 1926 Imperial Tournament and the 1930 for Tenrin-shiai. Politician, former head instructor of the Renpaikan, and senior disciple of Negishi Shingeru. Known as the Bow Sage, Kyusei, he began practicing archery under the guidance of Kimura Tatsugoro Tokutaka of the Hekiru Sekigaha School of Dusha, indoors archery. After 2 years, he received the Menkyo Kaden, full mastery, from Kimura. At the age of 23, he opened his own dojo near his home, and at 30, he moved to Sendai to open another dojo. In 1910, he became the archery instructor at the second high school. During this time, he focused on teaching archery that emphasized accuracy. In 1917, at the Dai Nippon Butokukai's martial arts competition, he achieved perfect scores in close-range shooting, 2 shots, long-range shooting, 5 shots, and a gold target, earning the prestigious title of Special First Prize and the honor of being declared Japan's best. The following year, in 1918, he was awarded the title of Kyoshi in Kyudo by the Butokukai. At the age of 41, he had a mystical experience, shooting what he described as a divine arrow. This led him to adopt the philosophy of one shot, one death, Ishiazetsume, and to see the nature of the target through the arrow shurikensei. One of his disciples was the German philosopher Eugen Hergel, who later became known for his work connecting Zen and archery, and who had ties to the Nazi regime. It was confirmed that there are a total of 50 for Kyudo Hanshi, but since no noteworthy anecdotes like those of Kendo or Judo, Hanshi could be found. The blog introduces the names and images of the Hanshi that were found, except for a Wakenzo individual. For Suigetsu swimming techniques, as well, only the names of the majority of the Hanshi are introduced, and these are also listed on the blog. Additional information about Butokukai Hanshi, not limited to Kyudo, will be added to the blog as it is discovered. If you are interested, please take a look there. Let me introduce you to Sonobe Hideo, the 15th headmaster of Jiki Shinkajuru Naginata Jutsu and a Hanshi, master instructor, under the Dai Nippon Butokukai. Hideo was a true legend. Until her passing at the age of 93, she only ever lost 2 matches. Competing against both men and women, she's widely considered the greatest master in the history of Naginata Jutsu. Her journey began with training under Satake Kenrurasai and his wife. Hideo was incredibly dedicated, practicing 1,000 swings every morning and evening. That routine paid off. By 1888. She earned her certification in Jiki Shinkajuru Naginata Jujutsu. Her teacher, Kenrurasai, even gave her the name Hideo, meaning manly, because her skills rivaled any man's. In 1899, Hideo made history at the 4th Budo Kusai Grand Demonstration in Kyudo. She was the only female martial artist to compete and faced off against Watanabe no Boru, a legendary swordsman. Watanabe wasn't just any opponent, he was the former head instructor at Renpaiken, one of Edo's top 3 dojos. Known for his deadly skill and fearsome reputation, Watanabe had even intimidated the Shinsengumi. But when Hideo stepped into the match, she completely dominated him. Watanabe was so overwhelmed by her mastery of the Naginata that he walked away mid-fight. Hideo was just 29 years old then. Watanabe was 61. 2 years later, at the 6th Budo Kusai Grand Demonstration, Hideo faced Horita Sutejiro, Watanabe's prized student, who was determined to avenge his master. According to reports, Hata defeated her. The match caused such a stir that the audience at the Kyoto Buto Kuden, where applause was usually forbidden, erupted in cheers that went on and on. However, in a 1955 interview, Hideo herself disputed this, saying, "The story that I lost to Mr. Hata is incorrect." One of Hideo's rare defeats came against a unique weapon called a chigi-rigi. It was a long pole with a chain and weight attached, used for capturing criminals during the Edo period. In that match, she blocked the weapon overhead, but the chain's weight struck her back, costing her the fight. Despite her unmatched skill and dedication to training, Hideo believed in balance. She taught her students that household duties were just as important as martial arts. No matter how busy she was, Hideo always made time for daily cleaning. Her cleaning cloths were so spotless, they looked brand new. Mitamura Akinori, a key figure who played a major role in the growth of modern Tendo-Ryu Naginata Jutsu. Akinori wasn't just a master of Tendo-Ryu. He also studied a wide range of martial arts, including archery, horsemanship, spear techniques, and gunnery. He was truly a well-rounded martial artist. In 1863, During the Tenshigami incident, an uprising where insurgents who supported the emperor attacked a government office, Akinori was sent to guard the Imatagawa Gate of the imperial palace. Just a year later, in 1864, as his domain shifted to Western-style military systems, he began studying gunnery, along with Dutch and British military sciences. However, after the Meiji Restoration, Akinori grew concerned about the growing influence of Western culture and the fading of traditional Japanese values. In response, he teamed up with others in 1885 to establish Saidokusha in Kameka. This institution aimed to preserve and teach classical studies and martial arts. In 1891, Akinori became the 14th headmaster of Tendo-ryu. While Tendo encompasses various techniques, Akinori excelled in Naginata jutsu and dedicated much of his life to teaching it. By 1894, he was demonstrating Naginata jutsu for members of the imperial family and even taught Naginata techniques to other nobles. In 1904, he became an assistant professor of swordsmanship and Naginata jutsu at the headquarters of the Dai Nippon Butokukai. This new role brought him to Kyudo, where the organization was based. Finally, in 1924, Akinori's contributions were formally recognized when he was awarded the title of Hanshi in Naginata jutsu, a fitting honor for someone who dedicated his life to preserving and advancing Japan's martial arts traditions. Mitamura Chiyo, the 15th headmaster of Tendo-ryu and a Hanshi of Naginata jutsu. Alongside the legendary Sonobe Hideo, she was celebrated as one of the two greatest masters of Naginata jutsu. Her journey started young. She began training at just 7 years old under her uncle, Mitamura Akinori, who was the previous headmaster of Tendo-ryu. One of her early highlights came on October 24, 1898, when Crown Prince Yoshihito, who later became Emperor Taisho, requested a martial arts demonstration. This event featured some of the greatest martial artists of the time and along swordsmen like Okumura Sakanta and Takayama Minazaburo. Chiyo performed Naginata kata alongside her uncle, impressing everyone present. In May 1902, she faced swordsman Okada Yusenkichi in an inter-style match. While she didn't win, her courage and skill earned high praise. Watanabe Noboru even presented her with a certificate of commendation and a prize tantu, a short sword, in recognition of her performance. Chiyo's skill was unparalleled, especially her footwork. It was said to be so graceful it resembled a dance. When someone noticed that her soles remained clean after practice and asked why, she famously replied, "I always glide just a sheet of paper above the floor." She was so graceful that she slid across the floor instead of picking up her feet while fighting. In 1931, Chiyo became the 15th headmaster of Tendo-ryu. Around this time, the Naginata was becoming popular in girls' education, and the Dai Nippon Butokukai launched a Naginata jutsu instructor training institute, where Chiyo played an active role. Her contributions were formally recognized in 1933 when she was awarded the prestigious title of Hanshi in Naginata jutsu by the Dai Nippon Butokukai. A leading figure in the Butokukai who served as Hanshi in swordsmanship, Iaido, and Jutsu. Matsuda Hideko, a samurai from the Tottori domain and a master martial artist. Matsuda was skilled in a wide variety of martial arts, including spear techniques, the Naginata, swordsmanship, and more. He earned his Hanshi in both Naginata jutsu and Kendo. But Matsuda's legacy isn't just about his martial arts. He also played a controversial role in one of Japan's most infamous historical events, the assassination of Ikubo Toshimichi, known as the Kiyosaka incident. Matsuda's education began at the Shodo Kukan, his domain school, where he mastered Confucian classics alongside martial arts like horsemanship, unarmed combat, rope techniques, and staff fighting. His skills earned him a place in the personal guard of the Tottori domain lord in 1867. When the Boshin War broke out in 1868, Matsuda fought in major battles with the Tottori forces and then served as a French-style training officer before his unit was disbanded, following the abolition of Japan's feudal domains in 1871. He also participated in the Satsuma Rebellion, but the turning point in Matsuda's life came in 1878 when he joined a group of disillusioned former samurai. They planned the assassination of Ikubo Toshimichi, a key Meiji government figure, and, although Matsuda didn't directly take part in the Kiyosaka incident, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison for his involvement. After his release, Matsuda moved to Hokkaido in 1888, where he worked as a recruiter for Tondenhai settler soldiers and taught swordsmanship at Nemuro prison. By 1891, he returned to Tokyo, opened a dojo, and began studying Judo at the Kodokan. In 1897, Matsuda became the Kenjutsu and Jujutsu instructor at the Navy Reserve School. During this period, his dojo, Bunbuken, became a hub for right-wing nationalist groups, connecting him with figures like Toyama Mitsuru, a pioneer of Japan's right-wing movements. In 1899, Matsuda left Tokyo to teach Kenjutsu at the Naval Academy in Etojima, Hiroshima. By 1901, he returned to his roots in Tottori and opened another dojo. He also taught Kendo at local police training schools, prisons, and educational institutions across the prefecture. Every year, he brought his students to the Butoku Grand Demonstration in Kyoto, and he played a key role in establishing the Tottori branch of the Dai Nippon Butokukai. Matsuda Hideko's life was one of dedication to martial arts, marked by incredible skill, a deep sense of tradition, and a complicated legacy tied to Japan's turbulent history. The 12th headmaster of the Shinto school and a Hanshi in both Kendo and sōjutsu. The Kamiono family, to which Hidetaka belonged, had a long history as headmasters of the Shinto school of Kenjutsu. Hidetaka grew up immersed in this tradition, observing training at his family dojo from a young age. Over time, he expanded his training, mastering archery, horsemanship, sword drawing, gunnery, and jujutsu. Hidetaka's career as an educator began when he became the head of the Kuikuei-shin, a local school, and later the headmaster of the clan school, Meido-kuken. In 1868, during the Boshin War's Akita campaign, Yokote Castle was attacked and burned, a defining event in the region's history. 5 years later, in 1873, Hidetaka received the Shinto school's highest teachings, the Kikui Kaden, from Gungo and succeeded as the 12th headmaster. Think of them as like secret scrolls. In 1883, Hidetaka moved to Tokyo to further his Kenjutsu training at the Jiki Shinkajuru dojo under the renowned Sakakibara Kenkichi. After honing his skills, he returned home the following year. In 1904, he was appointed as a martial arts instructor for the Iwate Prefecture Police Department. He also lectured at Morioka Higher Agricultural and Forestry School and Ichino Seiki Junior High School. During this period, he developed and published the Kenjutsu Basic Teaching Method, a group teaching system that was adopted nationwide. Hidetaka returned to Akita in 1907 and taught Kenjutsu at several government institutions, such as schools, police departments, and at mining companies. In his later years, Hidetaka achieved remarkable recognition. In 1925, he was awarded the title of Hanshi in Jujutsu, and in 1926, he became Akita Prefecture's first Hanshi in Kendo. Impressively, he was only the third person in Japan to hold the Hanshi title in two disciplines, joining the ranks of Ueda Mitsushige and Nakayama Hiromichi. Even in his final years, after losing his eyesight, Hidetaka continued to practice Kendo as if he could still see, a testament to his extraordinary dedication and spirit.
Japan B provides information from Japan that is not well known or talked about. Thanks very much for watching until the end. If you subscribe, we will be encouraged.